This is my presentation on overfishing. Overfishing is a major threat to marine ecosystems. This issue affects not only our oceans, but also our people, industries, and global food security. In this presentation, I'll cover why overfishing matters and what we can do to address it. Overfishing happens when we take fish out of the ocean faster than they can reproduce. This throws marine ecosystems out of balance and puts many species at risk of dying out. One big reason for overfishing is the growing demand for seafood. There are also industrial fishing methods like bottom trawling and long lining, which make this problem much worse. Bottom trawling involves dragging huge nets across the ocean floor, which not only catches fish, but also destroys habitats like coral reefs and sponges. Long lining, on the other hand, uses fishing lines with thousands of baited hooks stretching for miles. While they're meant to catch specific fish, these hooks often trap unintended animals like sea turtles, sharks. Both methods take a big toll on marine life and ecosystems, making the need for sustainable practices even more important. Overfishing has serious effects on marine ecosystems. One major issue is the loss of biodiversity. When the fish populations drop, it puts entire species at risk and disrupts the balance of ocean life. For example, when predators like sharks are overfished, it allows other species to grow out of control, which can damage the ecosystem. Overfishing also disrupts marine food chain. If smaller fish like sardines or anchovies are overfished, it impacts larger species that depend on them, like tuna or seabirds. And finally, critical habitats like coral reefs, fishing methods like bottom trawling destroy these ecosystems, which are home to thousands of marine species. Coral reefs are essential for marine life, and their loss creates a ripple effect across the ocean. These are a couple of professional quotes on the matter. The first quote is from the Oceana UK, and it's just saying how governments need to step in and really enforce sustainable fishing practices so this doesn't get out of control. Second quote is from the Conservation International. They're stating how urgent this is. The last quote is from the head of the NOAA, and it explains how important it is just to reduce overfishing as a whole. Overfishing doesn't always just affect marine life ecosystems, it also harms people. For example, coastal communities depend on fishing for their livelihood, but overfishing threatens these jobs and local economies. As fish populations decline, the income from fish also drops, causing an economic loss for the industry. On a larger scale, overfishing can create food security challenges for millions, not just in the US, but many people across the world rely on fish as a primary source of protein. Without sustainable fish stocks, access to affordable seafood becomes a serious issue. This can lead to hunger and increased poverty, especially in developing countries. While overfishing is a serious issue, there are several solutions that we can do to protect our oceans. One key solution is adopting sustainable fishing practices. This can include setting a quota for how much fish can catch and establishing a no-catch zone rule just to make it easier for fish populations to regenerate. Another effective approach is creating marine protected areas, which are sections of the ocean where fishing is restricted or prohibited to help ecosystems recover. We can also look at aquaculture or fish farming as a sustainable alternative to wild fish, which can help meet demand without harming the ocean. To reduce the impact of fishing, we can also use improved fishing technology to minimize bycatch, the capture of non-targeted species like turtles or sharks that are not really meant to be caught in these fishing lines. And finally, consumer awareness is probably the biggest and most crucial. Just by choosing responsible sourced seafood, you can encourage the fishing industry to adopt sustainable practices. Together, these actions can help us combat overfishing and protect marine life ecosystems. To wrap up, overfishing is a huge problem that harms the ocean, people who depend on it, and our food supply. As I stated earlier, it's caused by things like overfishing and too much demand. There's ways to fix that. The most important thing is action. Whether through laws or our own daily choices, we can all help keep the ocean healthy for the future.